So just look how nice this turned out. At least looking. That's hilarious. Oh, this is the broken fuse holder. Oh, what a joke. Well, we know that's the hot lead. So how many kicks? I normally don't guess how many kicks because, well, I lower the jack, huh? I have more room. Duh. Well, it's not too late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should be able to just spin them loose and pull the top cover off. Hey, it's Dave from Bullpen Cycles, and well, we are back to our Hercules Wankel. Do you remember this bike? This is one of, well, I have 13, 14 of these tucked away in the shed. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 Hercules Wankel. Wankels? Wankai? Wankies? Wankers? Anyway, we're gonna pick one out, and there's actually a couple more in the other building, and try to resurrect it. And they're all in various conditions of disrepair, but most of them are actually quite complete. If you remember, this one was looking pretty sorry when we got it out. So this is the one we picked. This was actually in our overflow building, and I'm going to see if I can get it cleaned up and inside before it gets dark. Now check it out. It's got some kind of coating on it. I think that'll clean up. This is the old style bracket for the kickstand, and they always break. That's probably why the kickstand is off. These are wrong. Missing the headlight glass, which I have. This should be BMW like the back. Very complete looking bike, showing 3,800 miles. Got the switch gear. Now this is very similar to what's in Italian two-stroke Harleys, but the Harley doesn't have the start button. I think it matches up also to some Ducatis. CEV taillight is available. That's on a lot of Moto Guzzies. I don't know why they have the brake like that. But Detail George got it all cleaned up. It had some type of protective coating on it that, man, I tried everything to get it off. Nothing would get it off. Turns out the answer was a lot of rubbing, of course, and WD-40. So just look how nice this turned out. At least looking. Even the mufflers got clean. The fenders, most of the chrome really came right back. The problem is, well, if you recall, the darn thing wouldn't start. We had fire, we had fuel, we didn't have enough compression. Maybe. Choke. Well, I'm gonna jack it. Normally I would never do this, especially on a 2-stroke. But we've oiled up that cylinder so much, there's probably enough residual oil to premix. Probably don't even need premix, so we're gonna jack it. See what happens. Nothing. Ooh. 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 It ain't gonna go. Thought if I got it fired up, some of that compression might come back once it got some heat and some friction and loosen things up, but that didn't work. So our goal is we're gonna drop this engine. I think you gotta separate the trans, this part from the engine, and open up those plates and take a look inside the chamber. And before I get too deep in that, this is a little simple diversion. This is the parts we got for the Hodaka. And we used to get them from strictly Hodaka. That was Paul Stenard, who's now the Preston Petty person. So now we go to Hodaka Parts Inc. and they're in Missouri. And they bought out the inventory. They merged what they had with strictly Hodaka. And why am I sharing this? Well, you want to know where to get your Hodaka parts. And no, I'm not getting paid for this. I mean, if they want to pay me, I probably would. It's not like it's Temu or Car U Pride. But anyway, here's what we got. Air filter cage, a key with an ignition switch or an ignition switch with a key. Now remember all these Paul Rocky roll bikes, none of them came with a key. So we had to get that. New old stock Hodaka, ignition switch and key, $35. That is a steal, man. I didn't even bother with a locksmith. Air intake rubber, and 2 petcocks, and a battery strap. So what did all that cost? That's what you want to know. That's a pretty decent selection of parts. Total price was $171 with shipping, and I think that's a deal. So now we're into this for, well, $1,000 hammer price, $500 bid fee, no transport fees because I had my van right there. About $125 to have the seat recovered. A little bit of time, and $171 here. So I'm in this for less than $1,900. And it has a title, so we're gonna get that done. That was just a small diversion. I try to feature more than one bike here because if you don't like the bike that I got, maybe you'll like the other one. These side covers are getting harder to find. I'm hoping somebody reproduces them or 3D prints them. I have some left. With age, they get brittle. I have plenty of decals. And this is a usable one. If you're fussy, corners are broke off, little crack here. Remember on this we had no spark. We were screwing around with a starter relay. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take the exhaust off first, that way I can get under it. I think last time I had to take it all off in one piece. Didn't want to separate. Is that enough? Oh, the center stand is holding it. What else is holding it? There. Hopefully there's enough room to wiggle that out. Sorta, kinda, but not really. Oh, that thing weighs a ton. Oh my God. Now I just want to get the wheel in the air, not the engine. This is your clutch. And I'm going to loosen that up. Oh, that was the zip gun hitting the gas tank. It was not someone at the door. Yep, 2 engine mounts. Where does this, that goes to the starter, I bet. So I gotta disconnect that. Which means I should disconnect the battery. There's a lever under here that opens up the seat. And then a prop. That's how you get to the battery. All right, now disconnect the starter. Where is it? Where does it go? Down there. Ooh. Ooh, those are tight. Good and tight. Good and tight. Woo! I loosen them all first. Ooh. One here, here, and here. I'm gonna loosen everything before I start taking them off. Wonder if I need the breaker bar. Yeah, wow. Please don't break. Well, at least it's not a stud. 1. Oh man. 2. Where's that last one? Down here in the oil. Of course, that one goes smooth. I think we're ready for this last engine bolt. It's already loose. It's got some stress on it. I think I just tap it out. I have a broken extension I use just for hitting things. Well, it's coming. Easy. Gosh, I think it's out. Dang close. Might have to loosen that fender. So I've got to turn it one way or the other to get it out from there. There's nothing. Oh. Oh no, that manifold should come off. I don't think so. What's this? Breather hose. I guess now is the time. No, I don't even know how much this thing weighs. Let's hold it right there. This may not work. Might have been easier to do if I took the fan shroud and the intake thing off. Not sure. You said I never did it before. Oh, what if I lower the jack, huh? I'd have more room. Duh. Oh, well, it's not too late. Here. Oh, this is not light. Big, small, just right. Dowel pin or what? Yep. Dowel pin. This is the Sachs multi-flywheel puller. It pulls. It's for many different models. So if you got snowmobiles or Hercules or whatever, this is the part you need. It's 0976, looks like -103-100. It's got multiple holes, so it fits multiple applications. I thread them in pretty good. Well, you're not going to strip these threads on that steel flywheel. These are our points coil, our lighting coil, and I think what I'm going to do is, for the time being, I'm going to mark it. It's almost right in the middle. Oh, this is neat too. The advancer for the points, they're built right into the, see? Built right into the flywheel fan. It's kind of weird. Okay, so I'm kind of stuck. Have the ignition loose, and I want to get the backing plate out. These Allen bolts spin, they don't back out, and they're threaded in there somehow. I would have thought that they would be threaded into the end plate here. Here's an end plate. That's the inside of the chamber. These mounts, nothing's threaded. So those go straight through. Here's the far end plate. I'm a little bit confused where the nut is. And I don't know how this transmission comes off. So I think what I'm gonna do, oh, there's an end plate here. This is the one, so I'm not sure how this gets together or comes apart. So I think what I'm gonna do is, well, we'll pull the starter and I'm gonna take a pause till I figure out how this comes apart. Because you don't wanna break nothing. You can't get anything except for what I have. So we're gonna take a pause. And while we do that, we're gonna go back to the Hodaka. This is my new Hodaka switch. What are the chances the Hodaka key works in the old switch? And look at that. I wonder if they all fit all Hodakas. Well, now I know how to make a key and save this other switch. I'll put the new one in since it is NOS Hodaka. All right, I don't know why they had this blue lead taped off. We'll tape that off. I'm going to assume this is the hot lead for the battery, which leaves me 2 unidentified leads here. Maybe turns. Is this a fuse taped in here? What is this? That's hilarious. Oh, this is the broken fuse holder. Oh, what a joke. Well, we know that's the hot lead. I'm going to replace that with something. There, I made a fuse holder. Proper one. So we may not have needed a battery, or at least a good battery since it's a magneto, but I think something belongs there just for the continuity. So with that, we should see if we have spark. What's this plug look like? Did this thing even run? Not too hateful. Do we have spark? Helps if I turn the key on, huh? Wow, that's good spark. All right, so let's button this up, get the pipe on. So I think I have this figured out how this comes apart. I'm going to take the side covers off the transmission, and I'm told they bolt in, the transmission bolts in this way, which means these bolts from the chamber probably go through into the end plate. We get the transmission off, we can see what it's going to look like. We'll deal just with the Wankel chamber. And in the meantime, we also got our Hodaka put back together, which might be ready to fire up. If it wasn't pouring rain, I guess I better push it back in. So we'll get back on opening that Wankel chamber, and then we're gonna see if this thing actually will light. Why do you, I guess because these are known to leak, so people figure, well, let's just make it tighter. Thought I had a third one of those floating around. All right, so we got one that didn't get loose. I think one. Did that come? Nope, 2. Yay! I guess by smacking it in there, will it come out? Probably not. It came. All right, so pretty soon we're gonna find out if my theory is correct. If that doesn't tell us how it comes apart, I don't know, man. That might be it. I don't know. Let's get this out of here. I don't know. Never had one apart. Let's find out. What the heck? I'm kind of curious. What is there? How do the gears mesh? How does it actually work? That's it. It's apart. Look at that. It's basically a big differential with a transmission behind it. So this is for the starter. So this is the starter plate, and this is the end plate on the inside. That's your engine. Oh, that's certainly easier to manage. Maybe I can get this fed through a little bit. No, not yet. No, not till I take that plate off. And so what do I gotta do there? Spin that nut off. Oh my gosh. Look at all the crud in the starter mounting plate. And this comes apart. Is it just two? And that bolt? Wait, I have one of these starter mounting plates. Let's look at it. Okay. So that nut and that gear have to come off. Well, it looks like I'm getting it. I don't think I could have got a puller in there anywhere. I heated it up really hot. And that's it, it's out. It's gonna be hot. Wow. So, yeah, it's not tapered, it's just a lot of surface area. So maybe that plate will come out, I don't know. Well, that sounds promising. Sounds like it's coming out. Oh, there's a shim. Ow! Still hot. Ooh, and a flywheel. And that does take a puller. There's my oil seal. This keyway has to come out. Now we can get this out of the way. Nope, that's still on with the carrier, huh? Look at that later. Wow. Oh, where's my other pull? Oh, wait, I have this magic puller. Duh! I bet you that's the same puller. I just got done talking it up. Ah, look at that, just right by hand. Well, that's much easier, huh? Get this carrier out of the way. So close and yet so far. There we go. Easy, easy, easy. It can still break. Got it. I got your number on the wall for a good time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should be able to just spin them loose and pull the top cover off. So, how many kicks? I normally don't guess how many kicks because, well, we didn't do a compression test. We didn't do a leak down test. All we did was clean the fuel system and check spark. keep whacking my... Oh, Bruno doesn't like it. See what happens when I take the choke off. Alright, choke's off. Do I have a clutch? Hey, I got a clutch. Doesn't sound bad. It's not all rattly. Well, this one's downhill from here. Let's go back to our other little project. Oh, I'll take that vacuum line off of it. All right, here it is. Now we get to figure out what the inside of a rotary chamber looks like. I don't want to use too much force and have everything that's inside go sprung. Oh man. There it is. And that, my friends, is the beginning of our next chapter. I wonder if I'm already seeing something. Okay, we're at the point now where we review selected viewer comments. And don't forget, we have our new feature, Viewers Bikes for Sale. So I didn't even know what to call that. Viewer submissions. Anyway, for our first comment, and this one had me scratching my head at first. This one comes from CYH6092, and he was responding to one of the spring barber swap meets, and he said, "Man, your viewers sure don't hit the like button." And like, I never really thought about that. I mean, I know I say like, follow, subscribe. I try not to beg, but then I went looking at my video list. So like, let's take the BSA that I was just working on, you know, without a ring compressor. So that video did pretty well. It got 16,000 views. And in 16,000 views, it brought maybe 600 likes. What does that come out to percentage-wise? 4%. That means 4% of you folks are hitting the like, or hey, give it thumbs down. Stupid, you need a ring compressor. React, give me some feedback. And also, that helps me. I'm trying to grow this channel organically, and that helps tell YouTube determine other viewers into motorcycles that might like this content. So yeah, hit like or thumbs down if you will, whatever. Subscribe, follow, ring the bell, all that junk helps me immensely. And shout out to CYH6092. Drop me an email and I'll send you a prize. So thanks for your comment. And now maybe one that isn't so self-indulgent. I got this comment, and you know, these comments make me scratch my head. I'd love to hear your reaction to this. This comes from Julian Wild 3945, and he says, only an ignorant person would start a commando standing on it while it's on its main stand. Ever hear of isolastic mounts? Well, of course I heard of isolastic mounts. We talked about not feeling the vibration, but I never contemplating that kickstarting a bike that had isolastic mounts would somehow harm the isolastic mounts. And you know, I remember a day in the old days, the owner's manuals would actually say, start the bike up on the center stand. You give it a kick from the center stand. You never start them on the side stand because you break them or bust them off or bend them. And I think it's poppycock about not being able to kickstart a Norton while it's on its center stand because of the isolastic mounts. Because let me think. So why would they bother reinforcing the center stand for the 850 Commando if you weren't kick-starting them on the center stand? Maybe that makes me ignorant. I also heard someone commented, and I don't know where it was, he says that you shouldn't let them idle on the center stand because the frames would crack. Are you kidding me? If you can't idle the bike on the center stand, what kind of design? I mean, it doesn't say a lot good for Norton if it has all those issues. It must be like when you have your 40-year-old bike isn't freshly restored and it's slightly worn out, these things happen. There was probably a problem to begin with. Anyway, now to our featured bikes. And this one comes from Grant in Salt Lake City. It's a 1996 Husaberg 501 FE. And well, I mean, Husaberg, this is pre-KTM. So this is a real Swedish Husaberg. And remember when Cagiva, the Castiglione brothers, bought Husqvarna and moved it from Sweden to Italy, a core group of engineers didn't want to relocate to Italy, and they didn't go, and they formed their own company, and it became Husaberg. And there's a good video by Crank It and I'll put a link in the description to this video, that gives you the whole story of Husaberg. And this particular Husaberg, he says, amazing bike. Well, it is. Fast and fun. Yeah, well, we know that. New tires, starts in 1 or 2 kicks, and that's a feature for these because these are big bikes and they're hard to start. Has rare factory pony tank. And well, I'm guessing there's a second tank somewhere. I don't even know what that is. So that sounds sort of interesting. Electronics works. Just had oil, brake fluid. So he did a service, coolant, and it's ready to go. And if you're interested in this Husaberg, just drop me an email and I can put you in touch with the seller. And that does it for today. Remember, send your bikes in. We're headed to an auction that's upcoming and the Triumph National Rally. So remember, well, I don't need to say it again. So just thanks for watching.